Hey Shalom, I'd like to start off by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, while Yahweh Shai, while Kakadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, blessings, salutations to you sincere Akim out there pushing the truth across the four corners of the earth. Risk your life to do so. I'm the brother Shaman of the Chicago branch of Great Millstone, and I was inspired to do this lesson, of course, by the Spirit, and they made a mention of it at the end. The bishops did, Chicago bishops, at the end of the live stream on Sunday, on how it's fucked up how a lot of these veterans are treated and the situations that they have to go through. All right, and I witnessed it firsthand, with people in my family, which ultimately, we were never meant to be a part of Esau's army. All right, their army still celebrates, from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, right? When they fought Issachar and they fought against Judah over in the Mediterranean. All right, so their army still proclaims that, and then Jake, still throws that uniform on, which at a certain time they wouldn't allow us to fight because they didn't fully trust us. All right, but then now Jake, is just completely out of their mind, and they'll fight tooth and nail against their own people or against any people on behalf of Esau, knowing the things that Esau Edom has done. And this is Sirach 23 and 28, 26 and 28. There be two things that grieve my heart, a third maketh me angry. And I want to get to the first one. A man of war that suffereth poverty. All right, so because normally, you go out to war against these other nations, and when you take them out, whatever spoils they got, it's going to go to you. It's going to go to your soldiers. You're going to divide up the spoil. And that's what it is. But see, when you serve America, that you're serving for a salary, and then everything you take over, the oil fields, the gold, or whatever it might be, all Esau's going to come through, and they're going to confiscate all of that stuff. And shit, pretty much you're going to get nothing. All of that stuff gets quote unquote confiscated. The drugs, the whatever the fuck. And then Esau is going to use that stuff for his damn self. He not the gold, the money. All right, they show when they went into Saddam Hussein, when they went into his palace. You know what I'm saying? He had all kind of shit up in there. And they took it all. All right, then they have, a movie like Three Kings, where they fictionalize some guys, figuring out where some gold is at, and then they actually get the gold and then try to, you know how hard that shit is gonna be. All right, because Esau, Edom, they make sure that you're not getting ahead. Right, everything, like I said, goes to them. This department, which ultimately it goes in the pockets of certain senators who support, certain military activities. And when you see a lot of these homeless, a lot of them are veterans. When you see a lot of these people in these trades, in these low-level blue-collar jobs, these Trump supporters, a lot of them are, military guys, right, veterans. And I just had a couple of scriptures. No, that's not what I wanted. All right, because Esau has always treated his soldiers like shit. And if you're foolish enough to join his army, well, this last time, you're going to be led to the valley of Jehoshaphat. Now, this is why when you look at their army, it's so low, because they don't pay anything. They're allowing transformers in there, and then they'll fund their operation. Certain platoons get sent off to. You have a lot of of racism going on in the military too. You have certain units where it's just all rednecks. And then, you know, if they do put you in there, then something might end up happening to you. That kind of shit. That's been going on for a long time. Right? Putting Jacob and Esau in the same army. You know, even with the centurions and those Israelites who were soldiers for Rome, you know, a lot of them were actually still in their own land. They just picked up that job, you know. They became a soldier. This is Revelation 9 and 6. Which this is referring to World War I. It says, and in those days shall men seek death and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. And this is from World War I, because you had a lot of men just getting fucked up, man, blown up. All right, they were having those different trench battles. They've been in the trench, and then you have to try to bomb the other enemy, or you got to try to flank them. You know, the guy with the street sweeper, the shotgun, try to flank their trench. Right? A lot of mines, bombs, just the world was at war. All right, it says, and to that man who wanted to die and couldn't, it said morphine was the main smuggled drug, but the use of cocaine also seemed to be expanding in some of the combatant countries. It was feared that army efficiency was at risk. In the UK, the drug scare first arose in Folkestone with sales to Canadian soldiers billeted there. Then the West End of London became the focus. There were fears that sex workers and others were selling drugs to soldiers. Pharmacy laws were powerless to stop the trade despite some attempts at prosecution. All right, so heroin and cocaine was the thing. And then, you know, of course, opioids, those were around too. See, cannabis was brought into the system in the 1920s. So all of these different things, right? And they were used to treat soldiers, you know. And then they figured out, of course, you know, those doctors were also doing experiments, you know, trying to find out how much dosage works on this. You know, you had that, a lot of mad scientists. You know, Esau's sick. You know, if you came home from this okay, which for so-called black troops in World War I, they really were just sent to labor units. All right, then you had World War II. That's where you get movies like A Soldier Story. You know, they actually allowed Jake to go in there and fight. And, you know, again, a lot of these soldiers who were promised stuff, you know, if you sign up, you get this, and a lot of Jakes, they didn't get shit. And now this is World War II, because Esau, they'll bind you up, they'll put you on some heroin, they'll prescribe you, you know, some pills or something, but shit, that's about it. They're not going to invest a lot of money, you know. You don't have insurance, you know. They're not about to invest a lot of time into trying to keep you alive and shit. All right, a lot of men came back with PTSD, which that was just, you know, they call it shell shocked, and then they figured out like, okay, no, this is an issue. Because ultimately, you know, when Esau goes to war, they don't just go to war just you know what I'm saying, hey, you know, you're in our, Esau goes to war, hey, shit, we need some money, our shit is down, this other nation been kind of talking shit, and they got a lot of resources, it's time to go to war. That's how Esau does it. All right, like what does it say? He does not abide at home. His armies are everywhere, man. They got bases everywhere. All right, and they did a lot of experiments. Then World War II, morphine. That's when that was widely used. That came into play. Blood banks, methamphetamines. The drug of choice for the German army was a methamphetamine designed to keep soldiers alert and functional for several hours, days. $35 million tablets of methamphetamine were shipped to Army and Air Force between just April and July 1940 alone. And, I believe it's Sears Roebuck. They actually used to sell heroin. You could actually buy heroin from Sears Roebuck. All right, but the point being, with the whole Army thing, that Esau has never looked out for his own soldiers, man. That's why you came back, and they were still called the N-word, especially for Jake. You're still a spick, you're still an N-word. It doesn't mean anything. You still can't live here. You still got to go to that part of town. All right, and during World War II, this time, because Jake was actually really on the battlefield, they actually saved certain places in Europe, and the Edomite women was choosing up on them. All right, Jake left a lot of their seed in Europe during World War II. All right, in Vietnam, Jake left a lot of their seed over in Southeast Asia. All right, but World War II, what happened after the soldiers got back? Shit, the Red Summer. Excuse me, World War I. Because the Red Summer, that was in 1920. Which that was nationwide. 1920. World War II was in the 40s. Salakia. But after Jake came home from World War I, you had the Red Summer, then the Roaring 20s. Basically, you had up here they had a lot of Jakes getting killed in their uniform. And it was nationwide. Because they didn't want us to have a military mind. They understood that, hey, if we militarize these people, we teach them combat warfare, they're gonna rise up. This is why whenever just like King David, we took over and then we set up battalions in everybody's land. So if they ever try to rise up, we gotta, we have a leg up on them. Because we're already there. Esau has that here, man, except times 100. All right, you got police stations everywhere, police sitting everywhere. All right, you got Esau basically serving in Esau's military, man. You risk your life for nothing, and they don't give a fuck about you. They got a couple of pills for you. All right. All the lawsuits that they got, man. All the lawsuits that the military has for making people do this and that, and then this person wasn't fit to fight, or this person had some type of terminal illness after coming back from the army, or whatever might have happened. Drug use, man. Drug use is super, super high for veterans. Right? Because they're looking for relief. And a lot of times too, they know that they helped fight for the wicked. They know that. Some of these niggas, they don't care, man. They follow after their daddy Esau to the grave, But a lot of our people, they evaluate that shit like, man, that shit was wrong, and that's what fucks them up. All right, and that's ultimately what the the mindset of somebody righteous is going to be. You know what I'm saying? Because let's say you served or whatever, you didn't know. All right, but best believe you gonna once you learn this truth, man, you gonna get the fuck away from that shit ASAP. All right, because you don't want to be subject to when it's time, which that time is coming very quickly. You know, that time is coming very quickly. Where he said, I will remove the northern army. That battle is coming. All right, the Middle East is the so-called Middle East is rising up and uniting. All these other countries are uniting and putting their armies together. All right, and that's why, too, because Esau, they just come in, they just snatch you. You know what I'm saying? You might have a wife, you might have just bought a house. Let's go into scriptures. You know, because you have a lot of soldiers who watch our lessons and they evaluate it, and Well, let's see what the Bible says. Let's see if you fought for a God-fearing country. This is Deuteronomy 20:1. When thou goest out to battle against thine enemies and seest horses and chariots and a people more than thou, be not afraid of them, for the Lord thy power is with thee, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. And it shall be, when ye are come nigh unto the battle, that the priests shall approach and speak unto the people, and shall say unto them, Hear, O Israel, ye approach this day unto battle against your enemies. Let not your hearts faint, fear not, and do not tremble, neither be ye terrified because of them. For Yahweh your power is he that goeth with you to fight for you against your enemies to save you. All right, so us, man, being a part of the Lord's army, and because he is the Lord of hosts, host meaning army, we're supposed to, it said, let not your hearts faint, fear not. All right, it's uncertainty when you fight for Esau. People don't know what they're fighting for. They gotta sign all these medical waivers and take all of these different experimental drugs. All right, you might have to shoot a child. You might, a lot of soldiers have stories about that. You might have to shoot somebody innocent, break into their house, whatever. You basically in a gang, and they'll tell you that. But our cause is a righteous one. It says, Fear not and do not tremble, neither be ye terrified because of them. For Yahweh your power is he that goeth with you to fight for you against your enemies to save you. And the officers shall speak unto the people, saying, What man is there that hath built a new house, and hath not dedicated it? Let him go and return to his house, lest he die in the battle, and another man dedicate it. And what man is he that hath planted a vineyard, and hath not yet eaten of it? Let him also go and return unto his house, lest he die in the battle, and another man eat of it. And what man is there that hath betrothed a wife, and hath not taken her? Let him go and return unto his house, lest he die in the battle, and another man take her. And the officers shall speak further unto the people, and they shall say, What man is there that is fearful and faint-hearted? Let him go and return unto his house, lest his brethren's heart faint as well as his heart. And it shall be, when the officers have made an end of speaking unto the people, that they shall make captains of the armies to lead the people. When they comest nigh unto a city to fight against it, then proclaim peace unto it. And it shall be, if it make thee answer of peace and open unto thee, then it shall be that all the people that is found therein shall be tributaries unto thee, and they shall serve thee. So if people surrender peacefully, then we allow them to become tributaries. Esau, you surrender, and then they'll still, boom, blow you up. They move, they will a threat. And if it will make no peace with thee, but will make war against it, then thou shalt besiege it. And when the Lord thy power hath delivered it into thine hands, thou shalt smite every male thereof with the edge of the sword. But the women and the little ones and the cattle and all that is in the city, even the spoil thereof, shalt thou take unto thyself, and thou shalt eat the spoil of thine enemies, which the Lord thy power hath given thee. Thus shalt thou do unto all the cities which are very far off from thee, which are not of the cities of these nations, but of the cities of these people, which the Lord thy power doth give thee for an inheritance. Thou shalt save alive nothing that breatheth. Ooh-wee. Right, hey, those Canaanites, they had to take all of them out, because those were the cities of our inheritance. Right, but thou shalt utterly destroy them, right? Namely the Hittites and the Amorites, the Canaanites and the Perizzites, the Hivites and the Jebusites, that the Lord thy power hath commanded thee, that they teach you not to do after all their abominations which they have done unto their gods, so should ye sin against the Lord your power. When thou shalt besiege a city a long time, and making war against it to take it, thou shalt not destroy the trees thereof by forcing an axe against them, for thou mayest eat of them, and thou shalt not cut them down, for the tree of the field is man's life to employ them in the siege. Only the trees which thou knowest that they be not trees for meat, thou shalt destroy and cut them down, and thou shalt build bulwarks against the city that maketh war with thee until it be subdued. All right, so we had rules for engagement. A certain level of mercy was shown. We ain't gonna burn everything down. See, these Edomites, they come and they just destroy all your shit. Blow it, boom, bomb, boom. It's civilians, it's women and children. They don't care, man. They come in to level your shit, and then they'll build it back, and then tap into your natural resources and have you as a tributary, and shit, you ain't got shit to else to tribute. And they've done that countless times. And even when you start to, because I consider being in the military, but even when you just start to research all of the different shit that they do and the tactics and how they use people, and how you're just a jarhead and just taking orders, it's really, you're really just a tool in their machine. And every soldier, at some point, they come to accept that fact. Just like this, you had Cornelius, Acts 10:22, and they said, Cornelius, the centurion, a just man and one that feareth God, and of good report among all the nation of the Jews, was warned from the Most High by a holy angel to send for thee unto his house and to hear words of thee. So he was a soldier of good report, and he feared the Most High. But he was a centurion for the Romans. All right, so the Lord will pull us out from where he wants to pull us out from. And the scriptures say, what? He's going to fill this place with men. Let me get that. Which I believe, this is just my conjecture. I believe a lot of those men are here. Jeremiah 51:14. 13. O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures, thy end is come, and the measure of thy covetousness. The Lord of hosts hath sworn by himself, saying, surely I will fill thee with men as with caterpillars, and they shall lift up a shout against thee. So you're going to have soldiers here, which, I believe that, there's going to be a lot of different foreign troops that keep coming through. And I believe they know about it. You got a lot of Africans. You got a lot of Chinese. You got a lot of just random people here. And it's like, when you hear some of the stories, some of them talk about they were invited to come. And somebody told them, yeah, America, we got a place for you. And they may have lied to them, but, they got a lot of military-aged men here already. And this place is about, that's why I say, man, every man sword in his hand, You know, it's about to be a battle. Yeah, you got too many. You know, it's confusion, man. America's about to go to war, but then you're gonna have this place, which is also gonna be at war. So you're not gonna be able to go city to city. You know, this is about to be crazy. All right, and all these armies are gonna, like I said, they're gonna durst fight. They're gonna happily fight against the Heavenly Father, and they're gonna get their ass kicked. That's why, hey, if you're not with us, you're against us. If you're not with the army of the Lord, then you ain't gonna make it. Psalm 68:28. Thy power hath commanded thy strength. Strengthen, O power, that which thou hast wrought for us. All right, we're going to be the Israelites, the chosen, the elect, are going to be an extension of the army of the Lord. All right, he said, I shall make a sharp threshing instrument. Because of thy temple at Jerusalem shall kings bring presents unto thee, right? Tributaries. Rebuke the company of spearmen, the multitude of bulls with the calves of the people, till every one submit himself with pieces of silver. Scatter thou the people that delight in war. See, all about to be scattered. All right, burnt up. See, there's one more I had too. Yep. Sirach 36:8, verse 7. Raise up indignation and pour out wrath. Take away the adversary and destroy the enemy. Make the time short. Remember the covenant and let them declare thy wonderful works. All right, take away the adversary, destroy the enemy. That's what's about to happen. Let him that escapeth, because a lot of these high military people, they're into the scriptures. You know, they're into the scriptures. All right, those two men who pierced Yahushai, there's somewhere in the upper crust, you know, there's somewhere there, man. They're being preserved, you know, for Yahushai to come back. But these upper crust people, a lot of them are fleeing, man. They're getting the fuck out of Dodge because they know what's about to happen. But you're still going to get God. It says, let him that escapeth be consumed by the rage of the fire, and let them perish that oppress the people. Smite and sunder the heads of the rule of the heathen that say there is none other but we. So they're going to be smitten. Gather all the tribes of Jacob together and inherit thou them as from the beginning. All right, and all these things are about to play out. Jacob is about to be gathered up worldwide. Esau is about to be smitten and put in chains worldwide, no matter where you hide, no matter what weapons you got. All right, and your swords are going to be beaten into plowshares. Basically, like we just read, you're going to be made tributaries of the earth. So, Lord willing, this is edifying. The Wadi Yahbashim Al-Shai for the holy inspiration for this lesson. Post some scriptures up. Baba Kashai. Shalom.